Mr. Speaker,
Order. I wish to inform honourable members that on the 16th of August this year, I received 2 written complaints from the non-constituency Member of Parliament, Mr. Leong Mun Wai, regarding certain statements and remarks made by 2 members of Parliament. The first complaint is in respect of certain statements made by the member for Bukit Batok, Mr. Murali Pillai, during the debate on the second reading of the lease agreements for retail premises bill on the 3rd of August. I will refer to this as the first complaint. I have directed that a copy of Mr. Leong's first complaint be shared with Mr. Murali and asked for his written response. Mr. Murali submitted his written response to me on the 23rd of August. Both documents will be distributed to members at the end of my announcement. I will now deal with the first complaint. During the course of the debate on the second reading of the lease agreements for retail premises bill, Mr. Murali had said, and I quote him, "The Honourable Non-Constituency Member of Parliament, Mr. Leong Mun Wai, had advocated some form of rent control," close quote marks. I refer to this as the rent control statement. Mr. Leong alleges that Mr. Murali's rent control statement had imputed improper motives to him, as he had not made any such statement, and that Mr. Murali had thereby breached Standing Order 50, Section 6. Standing Order 50, Section 6 provides, let me quote, "No member shall impute improper motives to any other member," close quote marks. The words improper motives imply something illegal, dishonest, or morally wrong. I have perused the relevant speeches recorded in Hansard, and I find that the rent control statement does not suggest or impute any improper motive on the part of Mr. Leong. Rent control is a legitimate policy tool that can be implemented by the government, for that matter, any government. There were exchanges between Mr. Leong and Mr. Murali in the House, where both parties explained and clarified the context of their speeches made in respect of the subject matter of the bill on rental structures between landlords and tenants. Mr. Leong had asked for my ruling on whether the clarifications by Mr. Murali were at odds with his speech. I do not intend to repeat the details of exchanges that are fully recorded in Hansard, but looking at them in context and totality, I find that in his clarifications, Mr. Murali did not impute any improper motives to Mr. Leong. Both Mr. Leong and Mr. Murali had differing views of what each meant when they referred to rent control. But that is the nature of parliamentary exchanges and debates. Each member sets out his position, his or her position, and if a member feels that he has been misunderstood, he can seek to clarify or differ with other members' position. Both Mr. Leong and Mr. Murali were given full opportunity in Parliament to clarify and to explain what they meant. During the exchanges, Mr. Murali did not impugn the honesty, the integrity, or the personal character of Mr. Leong. Such exchanges are part and parcel of normal debate in Parliament. Sometimes members' opinions may be irreconcilable, and they should agree to disagree. Their speeches, their clarifications, and their explanations, these are published in Hansard for all to read and to discern. I will now ask the clerks to distribute copies of Mr. Leong's complaint dated 16 August and also Mr. Murali's response dated 23 August to members. And I have directed both documents to be published in Hansard. I will give some time for everyone for the documents to be distributed. I am of the view that the statements of Mr. Murali do not impute any improper motives to Mr. Leong under Standing Order 50, Section 6, that there was no misleading impression created in any instance and no breach of privilege has been made. I consider the matter to be now closed. Mr. Leong, you raise a hand. Well, first, maybe I should say that under Standing Order 56, my decision on any complaint is final and is not open to appeal. However, for this instance, I will make an exception.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for indulging me. I will respect your decision, your ruling, but I want to have the opportunity to ask Honourable Member Murali a question. Is that okay?
Mr. Leong, actually, I do not intend to open the debate again. I have stated my position. I have allowed, as you know, actually under the standing orders, no clarifications is allowed. But if you do have a clarification for me, you can direct it to me. And I'm making this as an exception.
I understand that, Mr. Speaker, sir. Can I direct a question to you? The question is for Honourable Member Murali. Can I direct?
A clarification. I'm not opening the debate.
Yeah, a clarification to you.
For me.
Yeah, because rent control is a very strong word.
Mr. Leong, if there is a clarification, I'm making an exception for you. If you have a clarification to my decision, please ask me the clarification. I do not and I will not allow the debate to be open again. All right? What is your clarification?
Mr. Speaker, sir, can I clarify that you also agree that rent control was never said by me?
Is that your clarification?
Yes.
Okay, you may sit down. As I have stated, I am not reopening the debate. I have set out the context of the matter and I've made my decision on the complaint that you have registered. I will not repeat myself, and I think that decision, if you're asking me for my personal decision, that is my personal decision.